Hi, I'm Laurie Harrington. I'm a priest in the Celtic Christian Church. Over the next few days, between Pentecost and Trinity Sunday, I'm going to offer a few very brief remarks about the Trinity. The Trinity is the central mystery of our faith. It's also the hardest one to understand, but a lot of really smart people have talked about it over the centuries. And I'm going to offer my remarks based on that. I'm going to sort of plagiarize them a little bit, okay? The first person I think we have to quote is Thomas Aquinas. He says that anything we say about God is by way of analogy. So we have to remember that. It's not going to be precise. And the other thing I want to say is that as a somewhat deteriorating language person, I have to tell you the language of God is silence. So anything we say in any human language is going to be a rough translation. There are a lot of ways to think about the Trinity. And theologians like to talk about the Trinity in two ways. They talk about the immanent Trinity and the economic Trinity. Now, the immanent Trinity is the actual life of God as God. It's the intimate life of God. And the economic Trinity is how God interacts with creation, with history, and with us. Now, I like to think about the immanent Trinity a lot as an act of God's act of self-knowledge. And that act of self-knowledge becomes a hypostasis or a person of the Trinity. And that person is the Sophia, the divine wisdom, the pure effulgence of the glory of God, as it says in the Book of Wisdom. We also know this person as the Logos, or the Word. God beholds this person, this self-knowledge. And we know that nothing is more worthy of love than God. So when God beholds God's self-knowledge, he breathes a sigh of love. And that is the third person, or the Holy Spirit. Now, how do we dare think about this? How do we intrude on the intimate life of God? How do we dare speak of it? Well, we've been sent an invitation. The invitation is the incarnation. God has sent God's own self-knowledge, the Sophia, the Logos, the Word, incarnate in our human nature. In Jesus, we can see what God is like. And here we have the economic Trinity. Now, Jesus is a divine person, holding in his person both our nature and his divine nature as the Logos, the Sophia. In doing this, he's able to take our nature with him into the heart of the Trinity, into the intimate life of God. This is when the economic Trinity connects us with the immanent Trinity. So as John says in his first epistle, we will be like him, for we will see him as he is. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.